Hello out there and welcome to another tuning guide for Forza Horizon 5. In today's video I'm excited to talk about another new Ford Mustang, but this time it's the top of the line model, the Dark Horse. My goal for this tuning was to create an amazing S1 class car. Since I've already tuned the basic 2024 Ford Mustang for A class, I thought an S1 class tune would suit the Dark Horse well. However, achieving a decent S1 class tune was quite a challenge. Without a conversion and just rear-wheel drive, the Mustang barely reached an S1 rating of 900. The stock setup is already pretty good, making it a tough challenge. The new Mark 8 Mustang is heavier than the Mark 7, yet it feels lighter and more agile. I really like the new generation. Ford seems determined to shake off the stereotype that Mustangs are only good for straight-line speed. The upcoming GTD is poised to be an amazing track weapon, potentially giving German heavyweights like the BMW M4 and Porsche 911 a run for their money. One thing I do miss with the new Dark Horse in FH5 is a wide body kit. The car can easily reach over 900 horsepower and 1000 Nm of torque. Yes, it's wider and has a longer wheelbase than the current BMW M5 F90, but with all that power sent to the rear wheels, it can be quite twitchy. Now, let's see what I can do to tame this white horse. I showed a run with the Dark Horse, but before that, I'm going to finish the hardware tuning and then fine-tuning process. Finally, I share the tune code so you can use it yourself. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. And there we go, the white horse is ready to show its muscles. To be honest, it doesn't have to hide it in any respect. The new generation handled surprisingly well, especially considering this is a Mustang. It feels stable and the handling is just on point. You can brake beautifully into a turn and use all the momentum to exit the corner. That's how Mustangs should have been all day long. The power output is also decent for a stock car with around 500 horsepower. The only downside of the Dark Horse is the brakes, but they aren't even a significant flaw. They are just the weakest link of the chain, besides the tires. The tire width is amazing, but the compound is a bit lacking, or maybe it's the whole suspension setup, with too soft anti-roll bars or suspension stiffness. Still, there's one point I must criticize. Although I'm a fan of manually shifted cars, I think it would have been better if the base 2024 Ford Mustang had a 10-speed automatic transmission and only the Dark Horse had a manual transmission for variation. On the other hand, I'm happy that both have a manual gearbox instead of both rocking the 10-speed auto. Overall, you could also rock an A-class tune on this car, which could suit better since the base setup is already amazing. However, the name Dark Horse sounds promising, so scratching the 1000 HP mark sounds just right to me. Now I'm going to leave you with some last moments to enjoy the sound of that naturally aspirated American V8 engine. Last but not least, the tuned run. Let me tell you, setting up this car was a real pain in the ass. Despite running a big wing, full slicks and a race suspension setup, power output really fights against the rear of the car. First and second gear are basically useless if you floor the throttle. You just draw some dark lines on the street, converting all the power into heat. That was when I thought that boost by gear would be an amazing feature in the game. The overall grip in third gear and through corners is good. It's not amazing compared to a GT4 RS or Corvette C8, but there are many worse cars than this. Unfortunately, the car is now harder to handle than with the stock setup because of all the power going to the rear wheels. If I'd set the car up to turn in sharply, it could basically have been a drift car. I mean, you can drift this car pretty well anyway, but that's not the intention behind this setup. Overall, you can say that this car is best suited for tracks with longer straights and fast corners. City tracks with narrow streets and many tight corners are just a letdown with this car. The lack of rotation and grip in the first two gears makes this car useless below 100 kph. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please use the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the revs up high and the weight down low.